again, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Chef Rob, and we're going to make a chicken piccata, something that can be used all year long, especially now, the spring, the summer coming along. Very light, very nice flavor to it, lemon, butter, capers, all very good. You can serve it with a lot of different things. I'll go over those things as I'm cooking this chicken. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to start butterflying my chicken breast. So when you get the chicken breast home, just trim those little pieces of fat that are on the side right here. Okay. When you butterfly the chicken breast, always kind of keep your hand right on top here. And then you're going to take your knife and go halfway through, and then you're going to open it up just like this. That is what's called butterflying. Now what I want to do is I want to cut this into two pieces. Okay, just like this. Get rid of those little fat particles. I am just going to put a little bit of kosher salt. And a little bit of black pepper on this. I'm going to put it in some flour in a second, but I also want to start heating up my burner. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there and a little bit of the unsalted butter. The reason I'm putting the olive oil in, that will make it takes a better heat than the butter. So I will just drizzle a little bit of olive oil in here. And then I will take just a little bit of the unsalted butter. I want to bring this to a nice sizzle over a medium-high heat. I'll put the chicken breast in a second. I'm just going to lightly flour it both sides. Make sure it's nice and coated. Before we put it into the olive oil and the butter, I want to shake off any excess flour. I'm going to do that to the other chicken breast as well. Now with a dish like this, you could use about 4, maybe 6 cutlets, so you can get about 4 to 5, 6 dinners out of this. This will be very good served over an angel hair pasta, because you make a little extra sauce, goes over it. It's very nice that way. Some people like to change it around, add a little bit of artichokes into it, the canned artichoke hearts. You can add some baby spinach over a bed of spinach, would be really, really well. Okay. This should be nice and hot in 1 second, and then we're just going to get it to sizzle, and as soon as it sizzles, we're ready to go. So right now, the oil and the butter is nice and hot. I don't want it burning. I don't want to burn the butter, but I want it to get a nice sizzle. Hear that nice sizzle to it? So what I want to do is brown this. It'll probably take 2 to 3 minutes on the first side. Then we'll flip it over, and then we'll start making the sauce. Now what we're going to do is just these are nice and golden brown. Okay, just like that. Flip it over. Cook it for another 2-3 minutes. We're not going to fully cook it through, but they are sliced very thin. We don't want to cook it fully through because we're going to put these on the plate in a second, and then what we'll do is make the sauce, put them back in with the sauce, cook it, and reduce it down so it coats the chicken. Chicken breast nice and golden brown on both sides, just like that. Let's transfer them to our plate. Now what I want to do, just kind of scrape down the sides, just get any of those little flavor bits that are in there. I'm going to add in some chicken stock. Adding in half a cup of chicken stock. Some fresh lemon juice. You can see it's going to start reducing down. And then I'm going to put some capers in there. Capers you want to put in after they're rinsed. They can sometimes come in water, sometimes they come in vinegar. Okay, so let's put them in there. You can even give them a little chop if you wanted to. Okay, again, Want to get all the flavors mixed around very good. I'm going to take a little sliver of butter and add this into the sauce. Gives it a nice rich flavor. Okay, let that just reduce right down. And then in a minute, I'm going to add my chicken breast back in here. Let it coat the chicken very well. We'll be ready to enjoy. Okay, so I just reduced down the broth, the butter, and the capers. I want to bring my chicken back in here so it kind of coats that chicken really nicely. I'm going to let this reduce for about 5 minutes into this sauce. Let all the flavors cook in here and make sure that chicken is cooked all the way through. I can always garnish this with a little bit of lemon slices that you can put on the plate. Put one on there. You can put one right on top there. I'm going to chop some fresh Italian parsley so when this is done I could start garnishing it right away. This would be very good, as I said earlier, or angel hair pasta, rice, even the orzo, the tiny little pasta, would go very well. I'm just going to leave this right on the side for right now, because I can finish this dish off in a second. If I think I want a little more richer, creamier flavor, all I have to do, put in just a little bit more of butter. Gives it a little more creamier flavor. One of the favorites when you go to restaurants. You will see this dish in almost every Italian restaurant. A lot of the, any type of American type restaurant, they always have this, the chicken francese, chicken piccata, chicken marsala. Very popular. Okay, let's look right into here. Okay. Looks beautiful, nice and rich. You can enjoy this for dinner. So now that the chicken is cooked all the way through, I wanted to make sure that it was cooked through to 165. Any more than 165, you're going to start drying out the chicken, okay? So don't go any more than that. Just going to take these chicken breasts, put them on the plate, put these little lemon slices on here. And then you can see how rich and thick this sauce is. When you add the flour to the chicken and then it hits the broth, what it does is it makes the sauce a little bit thicker. And now what I'm going to do, put on a little bit of the flat parsley that I chopped. This is how it looks. Dinner is served. Can always serve this with some steamed asparagus, steamed spinach, steamed broccoli, roasted tomatoes on the side. It's really a delicious dish. Enjoy.